backs when we served the great Paddy Sheanon and himself a pleasant bite of feet.
It's a pity we didn't play together for
longer, yeah. But again, you know, I don't know what it is, not that I want too many, but when you win a championship with a group of fellas, you don't have to be their best friend, but for the rest of your days, you can look them in the eye, and it's just the same for the ladies in the camogie, and you can say, I went to battle with him.
Yeah, you're great friends with him.
Yeah, there's a special bond.
We have a new club that started up, which is the largest club. We go free on the bus now on the train.
I don't know how he is trying because he is having 3 puppets and pads. And he'll soon be at the
He's going ahead, you see.
Yeah. I suppose your abiding memory is 79. Did you do the double?
We did the double. We actually, the 77 finals played in 79. The 78 finals played in 79. Championship finals played in 79.
So you got 2 leagues and a championship in 1 year.
And the 79 finals played in the first month of 8. So within 53 weeks we won 4 titles.
Yes, not a bad achievement. Were there many of those under 23s at work on the Monday after?
I don't remember.
Well, we say about you.
Cheers.
Oh, look, another coach and camogie football. Keep on going. I think there's only 2 or 3 teams. I don't know about the trains. We can never know this. There was nothing going on at the time, you know. Every night training, you had to.
I don't know whether it's true or not, but I think we won the double, which Gail said to me, well, we won the double, so you didn't win the double. We won the senior double, junior double, and the camogie double, the same in 84. And I hear the what's another one has to be another. It wasn't 100 years because it was and he also set the stage. Yeah. Right. That's a great achievement. We had here. And we made it back here. And who was the next one that your 1 year baby? 83. So what was the fullback? Were you the wing back here or were you the corner?
I was in the cornerback. I was in halfback, sorry. Number 7.
You were 7 then, and you were 4 in 79.
That's right, yeah.
And any tactical thing about how he's prepared or what way it was it still Tommy?
Just everybody went out to play their game, and I remember one particular incident happened in the semi-final. And
we played every day that about 30 yards out from the goals on the left hand side. This is on the
stand side.
And he floated the ball to Jimmy Carroll. About 10 minutes after, it was nearly a free and then to get spot. And Jimmy Carroll said, this is not going to happen again. He says, what do you want to do? He says, leave it up to me. Jimmy stuck the handball and I tossed to Jim where he was kicking the ball. Jimmy did his knee up and his backside. And fought him. I'm right on peel him. And he says, what do you want?
Jimmy was motivated to keep me in half and I thought maybe he didn't know she'd be going for that year. It's the nicest walk in the country. You operated in the left corner and left half for pretty much all your career.
That's right, yes.
Captain of the team, I suppose a defender gets a good view, going forward of what's going on the field, what's going wrong, what's going right, where to load it up and, what's your earliest memories?
Kind of lucky, we had a very vocal number 1 at the time. I think he's here. Eddie Carroll. Eddie Carroll kept us on our toes now.
Yeah.
You could hear him, you made sure you could hear him anyway, so. It was a good goalkeeper.
And can be another man that I didn't mention earlier because he couldn't be with us now. He was with me getting a new bench, but then he was a bit of a problem. I think Fatty the wouldn't have known that. I'd say he's gotten up some fight. He could have, but anyway, we wish you the very best. So hopefully you're watching us. Patsy captain Killy Clare to win a minor championship, I think, in 56. And at the start in 15, there wasn't one player from Killy Clare. He was on the team, I think. Father Patsy was the captain of the team, but there wasn't actually one player. From Berger, Lara, Mola, you know it, but there was nothing there. And Larry, right. So, we'll pass you the best. But again, back to you, Hugh, like, 4 brothers, it had to be a great day. I know your late father didn't see us win the first one, but he was, as somebody in Tommy, I think last night said, he played a major part in having, as the others, in trying to sew everything into a united club, and that has happened.
Well, looking back, that is one of the saddest things that I remember. He was so much into the football, unfortunately he passed away the year before we won our first championship.
He did see you win 221.
He did see us win, and he's seen us win running fast medals and all that kind of stuff, but he was such a good club man. He wanted lads growing up, you always wanted to see them joining up, and unfortunately, when we did win something, he wasn't there to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd like to lead others too, and just again to mention, a lot of people last night said that they didn't remember, a lot of people obviously because of the timeline, PJ Duke, so I gave my mother a call because she's 93, and she would have been, to say she was a fair supporter would have been an understatement. And she would have no great liking for referees actually, but anyway, that seems to be. But I says, what about PJ Duke? She says, I told you before, she says, poetry in motion. She says, you can have your Brad Pitts, we had Victor Sherlock and PJ Duke. So when she says, poetry in motion is the way she described it. She says, football wasn't, she says, football was just easy. She says, there's certain players, she says, that football is easy to, he was one of those players. Didn't matter whether you put him wing back, midfield, half, centre back, didn't matter, he just could play anymore. And I look today on the Sigerson Cup team of the century, PJ Duke and Jim McDonnell were both on it. And that's some achievement when you think of all the Sigerson Cup teams that were on it. So again, I don't think that any player till Cormac McAnally died had the same impact as maybe PJ Duke and John Joe Riley when they both passed. So, fitting tribute to them men. But back again to your conquest, you had when you look at the Lara teams, you were very settled. There wasn't really much change for that 10-year period. There was positional changes. Like Jimmy Carr was a winning forward. I don't think he's put him up there to get scored. And I know in 82, and Ray might have been the captain in 82. And actually, building on that, we were basically an intermediate team that was well trained by Ray McCauley. But that day, Vincey Smith was the man that really tore us to shreds. I don't know who got man of the match. I don't even know there was man of the match then. But so everybody, Lara could hook you in a lot of ways. In other words, you had your marquee forwards, but the other guys could step to the plate too.
We were so lucky at the time that we had possibly 5 or 6 players on the county team, which carried the young fellas, through the games. Like Ange and Jimmy and Finan and Ray and 1 or 2 more. But those guys could play anywhere on the field. Had such talent,
Yeah, you were very adaptive, as I say. Yeah. And that's probably a lot of it was so comfortable no matter where you play. Okay, definitely Kane stuck, he stayed round. You pretty much stayed on the square. Right. Yes. But that culture at other age comes and varies, but it does build confidence. And good coaching and good coaching is a huge difference here.
Oh yeah. We were so lucky, as Keir mentioned before, a lot of our team came through to St. Pat's system there where we had Paddy Sheanon as coach, and he really, you wanted to play, show you how to play football, you know.
He didn't in the last couple of games, that was overage. I was repeating for it, he didn't cop it for a couple of games. And I got the Corley finger. 1979, yeah. John Brady was a corner forward, and he played James Cole after getting his appendix out 2 days before. Wrapped him in bandages and put 2 jerseys on him. Good man, Paddy Sheanon, are you there? But as you say, when and Kieran alluded to it, you're playing against top players in Ulster. They were, going on for their county, and maybe at the county underage level we weren't as successful as they were. But it is some preparation. An awful lot of lads that played county football would say the next level to county football they played was Macrory Cup football. Like that, it's that tough and physical, and they weren't sparing you. Like it was physical.
Well, at that time, like St. Pat's or any a lot of teams had that year advantage on us, so that was a huge difference.
Now, you were Bailey Butler, was he involved in the management in 83 and 82 and maybe 84? Was Lawrence involved? He had moved in, so he was basically he's a number 23 selector or manager, I don't exactly know, but he knew the finer details of the game, I suppose.
Well, Lawrence had a in the trainers, yeah. He'd have a one-on-one with you there, and he'd just tell you how especially the way to play the game.
I mean, what you say, the brothers get special attention, or they were treated the same as everyone else?
Treated the same as everyone else.
Oh, you did the same. Did you just like to get in there? I got in there. Yeah, I did, in fairness too.
Not on the beach.
No, but they're thinking the phone there. I don't mean to see his guys in the game, but he was at the stage. I didn't know it was early, he knows the team, I know the best in the world, and he did the fire on me, but I don't know the fire anyways. The more you slag him up for being late, the later he gets. Yeah, have to, and that's a Rockwell trait, and I have to, and God bless you, Monica, as you gone up to see P, which P would have done battle with you too. So they didn't last long apart. But again, Hugh, have you any good funny bits that happened? I know Kieran was telling the bit about Jimmy, but I'm sure that there had to be some great pieces.
The one I probably remember most was Paddy Sheanon was over the team, and we were playing against St. Mary's in I think maybe second round of the championship, maybe third round. And I remember it was run very that evening, and I happened to be marking Shane Minor. Do you know him? I don't know him. He was an exceptional fucking, I thought I knew. The team wasn't playing well anyway, and we were in at half time, and I sat there and I opened up a 5 box and took a 5 out. So I had a smoke. And everybody was kind of, it was all good in the room, so I had the head down and smoking away, and the next thing I lifted my head a wee bit, because I had black shoes in front of me. Lifted my head, and next thing I thank you out. He said, that's a rolling, you're not fit to roll, he says. Oh, that's wrong.
A story that I heard of a man called Pat Critchley. Pat Critchley played for Laois in Holland in football, but he was over at our old team. But I met him in Australia one night, and he was telling us the bit about when his uncle was over a team, his mother's brother was over them, and he says, we were reigning Ireland club champions, and we were losing the first round of the championship by 6 points at half time, and he says he berated us at half time. And he says the only fella he left alone, and I can still remember your man's name, he was Cullen. He says he was the only fella he left alone, and he says you could see Cullen getting kind of bigger in the seat. He says I must be doing fairly well here, which was fine. And he says I wouldn't insult subs by putting them on as they're playing that bad. And when we were walking out the door, and he says, and as for you, Cullen, I'm not mad with you, I'm mad with myself for picking you. The great bits that in every county and every club and
all of that stuff. And as I said to Kieran, there's a bond with lads that go to the well and come out on the right side. I don't know what it is, but it's just that unbreakable. And you could see two lads. You said, "Jeez, I wouldn't have put them two lads together. Oh, them two boys done battle together." You know, it's there and it'll always be there.
Yeah, there's unbelievable camaraderie. You know, even to this present day, like you never walk past the fella that you played with, or you need to have a good shot. Exactly.
And in fairness to, like I know Kieran said, a couple measures got away, but you have to give credit. Like, you had a very good team, but Kingscote had a very good team too. Like, you've made up the county team between you, like. So it wasn't a case that they were a flash in the pan. They came and they stayed, and really have stayed since.
Kingscote had a tremendous team. Brian Boyce and Drew Dillon and partners and McCall and Hall and
So, but Lara had that group, and when you get, and as Gunnar said, when you get a group coming together that flush, you've got 79, so you've got that first win, and that was important. I mean, I seen that Galway that came after you, they got a first win in 88, they had to wait to 94 to get the next one. So with credit to you, they had to hang in till 82 to get the next one. But that's what winning does. Winning breeds, that confidence that you need to go after a game, not to maybe, try and protect a game. When you have the foot down, drive the hammer home.
It is a regret that after winning the first one that we didn't go on, because we had the quality and the players to achieve more. And it is a regret that we didn't do a little better.
Winning 4-1 was not a bad achievement for you. Tell me this, with regard to your captaincy, who did you play in the Ulster club?
Girls, it's a... Was it Scotstown?
Our first game, I think, was Castlewell.
It was Castlewell in the first year.
Yeah, the first year was Castlewell.
Second year was Four Masters. Castlewell in the way the first year.
Yeah.
Now we were a depleted team that day.
We're very fortunate. We had a lot of injuries that day.
Yeah, that's a special.
It wasn't him.
I see PTA, Peter Smith, where he was hitting home in the bus with us anyway.
I'm not going to know. You pay it that day.
And there are still the goal with a piece of wood, you were now in the front end of an Northern yoke to the back end of a Southern yoke, no bother. The chassis number to him was a phone number, no bother to read it. We'll go now to Tyus, and as I say, we'll go to Tyus. Tyus, you were what? What year were you?
84.
So you got the centenary one.
Yeah.
I was just looking, Tyus, and you're going to give me a bit of information that I don't know, and there's lots of things I don't know. In 1972, you won a McCrory and a Hogan, but you also won a Renifest. And am I correct in saying there was only 2 years?
Yeah.
There's a Cathal Maguire down.
Owen Martin.
Was there 3?
Owen Martin and Colin Maguire.
And who was this Cathal Maguire? I don't know.
He's from Templeport.
So he was
yeah. Actually, Father Benny was over the team at the time.
Yeah.
And we were playing the Ranifest final, I think it was, and he came in and he said not to put you under any pressure on, but if you don't play this weekend, you're not on the panel. So the pressure was on. But we won the Ranifest that year, and yeah.
But I mean, you're 16 years of age.
Yeah.
And your player in competition that at the time was under 19. So that's a great achievement when you look at some of those maybe that didn't. So that's just, I know it's not a Lara thing, but I copped that today. I says, I know Donal was on the team, I think that the team as well in that you won but you got on to he might have been a year younger than you, I'm not sure what ages he's all are, but it's just a tremendous achievement to win those things in 1 year, like.
Yeah, it was a great achievement.
It was great for me, I was only 16, because the Ranifest, the Hogan and the McRory all in the 1 year sort of thing,
Yeah.
The only medal I missed out on in the college was the Conan Hogan. We were beaten in a semi-final by the team that went on to win it,
Well, the Dalton wasn't never won out in a few years. That's the other one, but.
There was no doubt on
In your and there was no draw. Them two new competitions, I often think that 3 is plenty, but less than that in most of the schools. Now you and Gunnar, I suppose, you've got to hold on to 3 and 6. You didn't really leave the 6th spot that much. Everybody, the rest of the backs was a kind of...
I probably played the 6th spot for maybe 12 or 13 years probably. I took over from Liam Carlin. Whatever time Liam decided to vacate the spot. I suppose it was number 6 then, from then on, and until... Yeah, it's. I found it a good spot to be in because it wouldn't be the fastest fella in the world, but I could always think a few steps instead of running a few steps, so I was able to mosey around that middle area there and pick up a few loose balls. Yeah, it's handy enough.
I always felt from watching it like that, you know, Adge done the heavy lifting and Ray, well first Martin, but Ray could stand under him and he just could pick a pass, he just knew where the defence didn't want the ball, and he was good at that, and he was a bright footballer.
Yeah, well, playing centre half back was a tricky spot because the gunner was kicking out the ball, and where I didn't want that ball to land was anywhere over my head because Ed was coming from behind, and he would drive into the ground like a nail if you were in his way. But if you didn't go for it, you were the worst in the world as well. So you had to go for every ball. So luckily enough, the gunner used to be able to sail that ball out over me a lot at the time. And I was very lucky that I had Hugh and Jimmy Carroll as my wingman because they were probably the 2 best halfbacks in Cavan at the time, you know. Yeah. So it made my job kind of easy, you know.
Yeah. I don't know how the cards thing would work for Jimmy today. Do you think the cards would suit him?
Think of what?
The cards would suit him.
Jimmy was a killing player. Listen. Jimmy was probably... It was very... I'd say Jimmy I don't think he was ever sent off. He got very few cards in his life. Jimmy played a hard style of football. He was very tough. Yeah, he was fair. He was fair. Yeah. You wouldn't get a box of Jimmy unless you give him one. No, I remember again we played against Derby out here now, and it was a long time before that, and Lawrence was playing, and Lawrence was very young at the time, and Jimmy was on the other wing, and there's a very big, unsociable individual on Lawrence who was giving him a bit of grief, and at half-time, at half-time, Jimmy Carroll said, "What the hell, he was going to do something about Lawrence Brady, he's getting dog's abuse over there," and another individual who didn't suffer fools gladly said, "Well, you go over on him." So Jimmy went over on him, and about 5 minutes after that, he hit the man an uppercut under the chin and he knocked him out stone cold. Well, that was the only occasion I ever saw Jimmy doing that.
Involved in management. A chap that I knew.
Just finish that story.
Yes, go ahead.
Jimmy Cooney was referee, and of course Jimmy Cooney worked with Jimmy as a... And Brian Brady said to Jimmy, "Did you not see that?" "See what?" says Jimmy Cooney. And Jimmy says, back to Brian Brady, says, "This is the man," Jimmy says, "the only place for you," he says, "is out there."
I was chatting to a fellow, he lives in Savannah, Georgia, and he was a wonderful player. He was playing over there for Westmeath in Holland, in Gary Park, I know him, but it's nice but anyway, Stephen Hannah, was his name, he was a wonderful player, he was playing a half-back, and his club mate from home was doing a half-back, and he was getting the stride, but he says you couldn't tell him that he was getting the stride. He says, because he just come over and break a hole across it. He says he was about 8 years older than me, I was an inter-county hurler. So I was looking over and I says, how am I going to handle this? Because I know the selectors won't move him because he never was moved. So he went over and he says to him, at a break in the play, he says, "Jerry," he says, "you couldn't do me a turn." He says, "I'm not fit for the lad I'm on." He says, "but you come over and mark him." He says, and he went over and he played well and I played well. But that's just the psychology of how you had to move. He says, "I just told him I wasn't fit." But as I say, as you say, you weren't the speediest but from A to B, but then you never started at A's. That's basically what you're saying. You were always, you have to have, the computer has to be switched on when you play at 6 and 11, so as does the fella that's on you.
If you can read the game fairly good, you don't have to do a lot of running around the place, you know. It's very unusual that there's a real speedy centre half forward. The centre half forward is usually a guy like that's runs the show sort of thing, and that the speed is in the corners. So if you can read what's going on, you can play centre half back fairly handy, you know.
Yeah. You commuted, I suppose, for all of your.
Yeah, every Tuesday. Thursday night, up and down that road, and every weekend home for a match for 16, 17 years.
And all these young people don't realise you had to hit Clonee, you had to hit Dunshaughlin, you had to hit Navan, you had to hit Kells, you had to hit Virginia.
I was actually telling the lads a story there. The 6 of us used to come down 11 nights, but this particular night, Anthony Connerty was driving. Kieran King was sitting on the handbrake, and I was on the front seat. Joe Sharkey, Finan McDonough, I think Donald Donoghue, and Paddy Sheanon was in the back seat. There were 4 in the back seat. And at that time there wasn't a whole lot of remarks passed on speed and all that, because you had so many stops in Dunshaughlin and Blanchetown and everywhere. You had motor when you got a chance, so we were flying it. And around about Mahara there was a police checkpoint. Now Kieran King was just after joining the guards, and Paddy Sheanon was a sergeant in Store Street at the time. But anyway, the guard was, people were moving up to the checkpoint, but the guard gave us a big wave on to move up, because we were back a little bit, because we were so busy talking. But Tony Connerty, who was driving, thought he was waving us through. So he moved it on through. And Patsy said, Tony, I think he was just waving us up to the stop. And we said, it's a tall, keep going, go on. Move around, we're late for training. So by the time that they had all that gear gathered up and into the car, we had a good head start, and we were going to be 80. We're through Virginia, belting on down past Labby, and we're just coming up to Labby, and next thing we heard the siren. Cheers, says Tony, here's the siren behind us. Oh, says Patsy, I think we went through a checkpoint back there. Oh, not at all, we said, fuck's sake, it's an ambulance or something. Next thing a man pulled in in front of us, jammed on the brakes, and he was not happy. He was after chasing us from fucking man. So he came up anyway, and he looked in, and Kieran, as you know, isn't too small. He's sitting on the handbrake, I'm sitting on the front seat, and Connerty's there. He says, why didn't you get your safety belt on? And he started looking. You can't get it because he's sitting on it. What's your name? Tony Connerty. Shows your license, all that. He says to Kieran. Now Kieran was very weak in the guards at the time. He says, what's your name? Garda Kieran King. The man says, answer the Garda. He says back to him, so Kieran, right, Kieran King. What's your name, Matt? And so forth. So then I was waiting for Patsy to pull rank here. I'm the sergeant. So it says, what's your name? Joe Sharkey. Patrick Hannon. And we were looking. Sergeant Patrick said, look at that, he says. So he read the riot act anyway, and told where is going? We're going to train. It's a funeral you should be going to if these kids driving like this. So he read the riot act was anyway, and poor old Tony ended up in court and had to pay a 90 quid fine, which was nearly a week's wages at the time, over the whole thing, So that was one of the drive downs, Yeah.
And that in itself,
the dances was good.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I remember one year I came down, I don't know how many times I came down, a lot of times, every Tuesday and Thursday night, and at that time we were working 2 hours overtime every evening, so I've been forfeit the 2 hours overtime. And I remember giving just the dates of every trip down, and at the time I was driving a car that was not easy on tubes. It was 20 quid to go down and back with 6 lads, and I drove most nights. But anyway, at the end of the year, I give him the expenses, and I don't know how many trips we've done, as Kieran said, maybe 50 or 60. But just a week or two before Christmas, the treasurer gave me an envelope with it, and he says, your expenses from that. Oh, I was delighted. It was Christmas. I opened it up. There was 60 quid in it, which would have covered me nearly for 1 week. Not counting me overtime. So I said, 60 quid? Holy shit. Anyway, that was it. That's all you get anyways. So nowadays, if you give that to some fella for coming down for a week, 3 times, he probably wouldn't be back the following week. But at that time we were going, well, you you get approached by loads of clubs in Dublin, but you would never consider playing with them. St. Bridget's club now would be behind my back garden. But, you wouldn't dream of transferring to another club. We're a close-knit bunch, and we stuck together from under 16, minor, under 21, senior, you know.
Yeah. Again, going back, and I know it's a wonderful achievement to have the four, and I know that some could have got away and all that happens every team. We saw it last Sunday. But, you know, when you look at it, do you feel that maybe, and I'm not just talking about now, I'm talking about it, I think maybe that to me in that generation, Kingscote took the Ulster club pretty seriously. I'm not that sure that every other club, maybe when you win the county championship, that did maybe take your foot off the pedal a bit.
Well, our first year,
it's a different level. You're going to a different level, and you need a panel. And you know, the first year we played Castlewellan, and they had players like Brendan Toner and Colin McIllarney were household names, you know. And Ray was suspended from the county final. I think Michael, you got married and went on your honeymoon, did you? PJ was injured, got injured. Jimmy Carroll had something wrong. We weren't organised, and we were beaten by about 6 points. But there's 2 years there that we were beaten by Galls very narrowly, and Galls I think won the All-Ireland that year. And Scottstown got to the All-Ireland final the year that they beat us, and we were winning by a point or two up to the last nearly minute, and Ray McCarron got gold. You're talking about fine margins, and you refer to Lawrence there earlier on. To lose a player of Lawrence's calibre, if he had to be playing in the half-back line, it would have released Jimmy Carroll to go into the forwards, and like you need, at that level, when you go into an Ulster campaign, you need to be able to take off three lads at least, and put on 3 lads as good or nearly as good, or 4 lads. And you need a good panel, and we were just a little bit light on the panel end of things now. And I felt that we could have won an Ulster at least, if not an All-Ireland.
I think was the top scorer in the country a couple of years ago.
Yeah, when you think the Galls won it the year they beat us, and there was a penalty given which, in my opinion, wasn't a penalty, and then Cusick saved it, and then they got retaken it. And whilst we were arguing about that, another ball came in and went into the net, and then Finnan was sent off. If Finnan McDonough had any Achilles heel in football, it was that he wouldn't rough it. He wasn't rough enough a player at times. You know, he was a gentleman. He was a brilliant player, but he got sent off that day for a tackle. It wasn't a tackle at all, really. You know, it was crazy. So things just didn't go away on that. But having said that, there's loads of great footballers that have no championships. So we're thankful for what we've got, and we had a good innings, and I just regret that we didn't win an Ulster at least, you know.
And for all 3 years, how did you get on injury-wise?
You wouldn't want to.
You didn't get a knee.
My knee now gives me a lot of trouble. In fact, when I was 29, a fella in Blackrock Clinic told me he was going to do a knee joint back then. So it's just hanging on at the minute.
And in a week of more than 29.
What?
In a week of more than
39.
10 years ago, so I got it a few years ago.
What did you do? Any bad loss?
3 cartilages. I had my ankle operated on. Lost a few teeth. But apart from that, not too bad.
Go on.
A couple of injuries from my own men, not anybody else. Broke your ribs and broke a bone in the end.
Actually, to the opportunity that Mickey had in the televisions right now, there's a good connection with ESB. Yeah. Listen, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more of that. So we're just taking a break. I don't know how long for Gary or Brian or who's going to tell me how long it's on. 2 or 3 minutes. 2 or 3 minutes. So I don't even know if the 1 5, let's want to go by the stone. But when you give the 3 lads a good round of applause, I'm really
boys. I just now have a couple of ladies here involved in both camogie and football, some current and some not so current. On my right hand side, I have Rosita McCabe. She was Brady. She also wrote her name, but we use her age, and then we got so that's Rosita. She was involved with camogie back in the 90s and 80s and maybe even 70s and then we had Brady was also involved with all these in 2001, I believe. And then on my left we had Megan, who was the current football captain, and then we had Aileen, who was the vice captain and the captain in 2021, he was the senior, and that's when the club was the captain, that is year ago. So we start with you, and I'm not going to run now, this is okay. You're how long, when did you start?
Probably, trying to do the maths in my head, like 20 years ago or so. I did indoor camogie, so that's the earliest memory I have walking around in the hall in Amsterdam.
Coaches?
Yeah, loads of coaches over through the years. Mary Collins is probably the one I remember from the early days. Trina Keenan was there as well. I think my mom done a wee bit as well. So yeah, we had a number of them back then.
And you go straight into senior, or you just have to go to junior, intermediate, and come up to senior, or how that was?
At the time it was only junior and senior, so we won the junior championship in 2013. We got drunk in Rathluton. That was the first real win we had at senior level. We went all the way to the Ulster final and left that one behind. We were beaten by Clontibbert on the day that day, and then obviously we were intermediate. We made the jump up to the senior championship then.
And then 2021 was the crown goal.
Yeah, 2021. There was many losses before then. In my time as captain, so Darren Martin came and gave me the boot from captain, took it on, he won the senior championship. So yeah, there'll be a few tough years. 2017 we lost, 2018 we lost the replay, 2019 when we lost again. I was the captain of all three. So you can see the trend. 2020 we didn't even make the final, and that was really the kick-up we actually needed, and 2021 came, and yeah, it's something we remember for the rest of our lives. It was unbelievable to finally get over the line.
Yeah, and really the following year, I think I'm really certainly correct, he's kind of met the law out of really he's almost brought back. He's come back really close to I think maybe about a first half, and so took that one too.
Yeah, absolutely. There was another one we probably left behind, but half time we were left too much to do, and the second half we came back fighting. We got a few late goals, but we just ran out of time in the end, and yeah, look, it was one of those days.
The county team they're going well.
Yeah, and I suppose it's been great. We've been part of that one preparing now for our semi-final against Laois on Saturday week, so yeah, things are looking good on the county scene, and it's a massive achievement and an honour to be part of that.
Could be looking over the short, the bottom DT winner
None of it. It's unbelievable. The chairman of the club, like chairperson. I can't believe it. I seen somebody go out of a shop today and I said, I bet you that one shopping for Roden or for McKenna. Yeah.
My father, his uncle and his uncle was all took the boat
together in 1949, Jean McKenna. That's just a connection that myself and Tomas have. But you're as I say, the county are going well. Lara now, where are Lara's senior camogie team now, in your opinion, as we speak, like ranking wise, or are you a contender? Are you losing players to immigration?
Yeah, I suppose we're definitely contenders. Our minors won the Division 1 League and Championship for the last 2 years, so you know we've all them girls come up to play senior level. Obviously we've been hit with immigration, Clodagh. When she heard there was going to be a captain's talk, and we were all prepared. Couldn't be there. But yeah, we've lost a few players down through the years. Suzanne Cusick left after we'd won the senior championship. Then obviously Clare was a huge loss to us this year. But as I said, our minors and our underage have been flying the last number of years, and there's a lot of girls there jumping up to play senior. So we're definitely contenders. We're definitely confident that we can go and make it back to the senior championship final.
Do you see a sister of Clovis down my country not there, do?
You do, somewhere around there, we're hoping she's down there at the back.
Did you know that?
She's down there hiding, yeah.
She's we go to Megan now. Megan, what parish do you live in again? One bit of it's in Connacht-Bridge, but it's really a Lara. But anyway, how long did Dozy tell you that you're allowed to stay out, or what way is that curfew open? Because I know you're an obedient girl. I saw you in the Wellingtons one day. You're looking well in them Wellingtons. I'm telling you one thing, you are quite a lassie to be dancing about a slatted shed. He has you well trained. And you know how to apply for grants. I'm telling you, Dozy has nothing to learn. Do you have to help him learn his lines?
No, he's a very good himself.
You're the captain, the current captain of Lara Ladies Football team.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we went down in a final. I think it was against Dundee. I think I was doing it. Now that has he's getting stronger all the time. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was first year re-established as a club, so we know Ladies Club for 10 years. And we re-established in 2021 and got to the junior final. And then took it on the day, but it was great to get to the championship final the first year up and running.
Yeah. Now, as you are now, how do you find for the dual players? Like, how is it difficult to have the two? Is it taxing? Do management have to work together to try and make sure that that's what it comes down to? It comes down to common sense.
That's it, yeah. I suppose the girls know themselves, how much they can do and on any given week. So yeah, look at management work together. And like Aidan said, a few with the county community as well. So yeah, look, there's a lot going on, but just it's great that they're able to play so much and play with all teams. So just have to make it work.
And as regards the standard, I think the standard is probably going up all the time as it is in Camogie in the county.
Yeah, definitely always. Sure, look at ladies football's come on in leaps and bounds, so you're just always trying to, I suppose, push on and keep up and reach those standards.
No, obviously maybe a slightly unfair question. This year in the Premier, or I think they call it the Platinum Division, in under 14, under 16 and minor, Cavan won all three. They're qualified for the All-Ireland final in minor last night with a comprehensive win over, I think it was Kildare. They play Kerry now in the final. They're under 16s win the All-Ireland final. And we have Ivan Assey that's 20, she won in under 14 Division 1. The one before that, or maybe two, Loretta won in All-Ireland, Virginia and Bediborough have won Ulster titles. Should we not be stronger at inter-county level, do you not think? We've had a lot of players from 26 back. I think we have a lot of players, quality players.
Yeah, there definitely has been over the last 5 or 6 years. There's been serious achievements, and further back than that, serious achievements underage. And it's just, I suppose maybe girls giving so much commitment from under 14s up to minor, and then maybe travel and things like that. It just hasn't really clicked recently with the seniors, but
you were never in Coppers during your college career, correct?
No, I can tell you.
You were never in the league in your college career. I know what they all are. I donated much money to colleges in my 4 Goshens. Yeah, they were all that intelligent enough to do a couple of courses. Not all, most of them. Funny enough, that just reminds me about a fellow last night who was telling me a story about a man down in Christchell years ago. He had 10 of a family, and somebody asked him one night in the pub how many kids had he. 10 and the one were at, which I thought was a great answer. We'll have to keep it clean. But so, do you think that you're going to be in the last 4 this year? Are you expecting greater things? Where are your expectations? And emigration-wise, Lara, not too bad. Maybe lads more effective. Would it be fair to say than the female section of the club?
Yeah, look, there's good people, and I suppose probably more lads than girls, but yeah, look, we're definitely going to push on this year. We've tough not great for the championship this year, but you know, we have great quality players there, and it's just about getting it together and pushing on. Definitely with belief in ourselves that we can get to the final this year and push on, but yeah, fingers crossed.
I'm sure you want the place built at this stage. Long churning makes bad butter. You couldn't give Dozy enough. Next is you, Claire. You were the generation of the 2000s, I suppose, the early 2000s. You won the intermediate double in 2001, I believe.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And your memories of that?
Yeah, it was a great time. We went through many years of fighting to get to that. We came up from novice through junior to intermediate, and it was great to get the double that year.
So in 2001 you were 12, and you were the captain of the team when you were 12. Is that the way it works?
It was. No, I was playing from when I was probably about 10 or 11 myself. My sister Paula used to cycle the bike down to Divine's Bottom, which is a field by there. The fields covered Divine's Bottom. So we didn't cycle, we didn't get. So
There's many good bottom of that.
And then back to Sloan, and many years under many good coaches and management, and yeah, it was brilliant times.
And an odd day missed the walk, I'd say, after some of them games.
Oh yeah. We worked it well. We were strong guys. We were well fit to socialise and get you up for work the next day.
We thought to leave on the parrot to get married. I said to you, it's a bit like that right.
Well, that was bad. I don't think it was that bad. But yeah, a fellow learn on our race,
Yeah, like, do you see the commitment different that the girls have to give today, or did you really push the boat out yourselves when it came time to do the business? You knew you had to do the hard work.
We did. We definitely give the commitment. I lived in Dublin. I would have come down every Wednesday evening for training, every Friday evening for training. We were back up then every Monday morning, and it was the same cycle week in, week out. Because we wanted to win, and we worked hard for it. But we can definitely see the difference in the play. Now the skill that's there now in comparison to what there was when we played, and you can see how Camogie has really moved on from our day to what it is now. It's phenomenal.
When you got up to the senior level, how did that pan out for you?
We fought. It was 20 years before the girls. We got an official senior title, which was fantastic. We all wanted it for the girls. They won it for us all. But we went back down to junior and back up again. We just fought all the time to keep that senior. So
yeah, great achievement.
it was, yeah.
And great memories.
Oh, the best memories.
One fair question for you, best chair on the squad.
Where do we even begin? Well, we had Louise, Nelly, as you know, Louise. She
What trainer on the squad? Biggest mess up.
Yeah. No, we had Carl Verdi, and we had Bridget Verdi, and we had Frank Brady. We had great stability there all the time. We had managers, our coaches come and go, but they were always there with us from when I was there.
Continuity.
Yeah, the support. They were always there.
So come on, tell us, who was the biggest messer?
Biggest messer on the team?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'll not say me, but everybody, there was loads. We all socialised together. We played together, we socialised together, we all messed together. But no, we had great times, yeah.
Thank you very, very much, Sarah. Now, Lisa, you're not a guard anymore. I can say what I like to her. Rosita, you won senior championships and you captained the senior championships. Your year of your captaincy and winning.
I think we really 4. Same as yourself.
That was all the years.
Yeah.
Jesus, what age are you then? I know what age he is. But anyway, you've also, I think, if memory serves me correct, by the way, I don't know how long, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, the Senior Championship Cup, I know it was, and I presume it still is the Nancy Danaher Cup or the Nancy O'Rourke Cup, so that's the mother of, is that still the Senior Championship trophy? It was the Nancy Danaher Cup at one stage, I don't know for that, so it's not now, but I would have known Nancy, herself and my mother used to meet at prayer groups because both of them had wayward sons. That's probably the best way I can put it. So, 84, 3 sisters or 2 at that stage?
3.
Mary was young.
Yeah.
So, hard going, hard training. But were you the first team to play in the Ulster Senior Club Championship? You played Swatzer in Bethany Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cavan teams prior to that would have gone maybe in the intermediate club or stuff like that. Is that how it worked?
We were the first senior team to get to an Ulster final.
Right.
The Lara team.
Right. And you got to go to the final in 84.
In 84. Was it? No. My dates isn't as good as yours.
Very important for one of the days. You obviously you said a long way, and I remember Rita playing in New York. She used to come out and she played for us. I don't know if you did, but I remember Rita.
Yeah.
She both used to play World Cup and played for us. So that is a serious achievement, especially, let's face it, Armstrong would have been very strong, Derry would have been very strong, Cavan wouldn't have been known as a youngster. I always remember Kill had a tremendous team backbone by the Shelby lassies, and Knockbry would have had a good team backed up by their cousins of the Shelby girls, because when Kill had played Knockbry and Camogie, 2 sisters were over both teams. One of them still with us, Rose Traynor, and there could be 500 at the end, wouldn't be 100 at the men's. We'd go to encourage the 2 women to fall out as best we could. And in the way that the game should be played. But back to you played with a lot of great players. Did you win many senior championships?
Yeah. I started first when I went to St. Aidan's Comprehensive. That's where I started playing camogie. And then I played with Cotil, and that's where I won my first senior championship and league. Lara had no team at the time. And then they started up a novice team, and Mary was playing with the novice team, and Isha was playing with Cotil novice, and I was playing with the seniors. And then Cotil was playing Lara in the game, and Cotil won. Lara won. Lara beat Cotil. So then when we went home, Isha wouldn't talk to us. Wouldn't talk to Mary. She fought with Mary for the week after because
I can't see you doing that.
So then after that, when we came back, then Lara went intermediate, so we came back then to Lara and we won the intermediate championship then. And then we went up senior. And we have, was it 7 senior championship leagues? No, 5 championships and 7 leagues. Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And your daughter has an Ulster Senior Club Championship medal. Is that correct? Am I right in saying that? Lisa, you won an Ulster Senior Club Championship in football. Yeah, and then you have an East Plays in the football too. With the Scousers. So there's a bit of DNA there. So, in other words, the McCabe's nor the Buddies can claim that the DNA came from them. It came out of the Brady's.
Yeah, definitely.
I suppose, again, you didn't move that far. No, the three girls that I know, well, you didn't move far away, so the bond is still there. You're still meeting them on a regular basis. Let it be in Cotil, let it be in David, let it be in Lara. And yourself and Neil were great supporters. You're always doing the circle, going to all kinds of games.
Yeah, that's right.
So that bond is there, meeting those, and your children or friends, or, because obviously we were all of an age, a generation, but you had probably 10 or 12 or 15 great years, and you wouldn't swap them for...
No, it was great times. When we started off, it was Mary Pearce trained us. Mary Pearce, John Pat's wife. That was great crack.
Yeah, but that's what, you see, this is something where we lose what this is supposed to be.
You never forget.
The fun.
Yeah, or who trained in the very beginning.
Yeah, well, back when Gavin Gunnar and the Tyson when they were some of you don't know who the manager, now you hear the manager and the coach and the manager and the coach and you hear about training. I remember a man telling me one night, he says, we went to practice, now they go to train. And I think, I see so many lads, and I know that Quigley fellow that plays with Fermanagh, and he was a wild child, but he was a wonderful footballer, and he says he thinks he could make footballers now out of athletes, because you only need 3 or 4 footballers. It's all about, if I can run faster than you, even if I can't play football, I'm going to get the better of you. Then in Camogie as well, it was about the wrists, it was about the skill level. Now, obviously Claire said the skill level in Camogie and in hurling, it's just gone off the charts. Personally, I think the ball's gone like a tennis ball. I mean, I don't know if it's right that a fella can be hitting frees over the bar from 110 yards. But your opinion is that I just think that even last week I watched a girl from Galway and she just was a superb power left and right. It really is. It's a wonderful game. And somebody says to me coming out of Croke Park last Sunday, I was with, for some reason, me and Robbie O'Malley are friends for a long time, and he played a bit of football, a lot more than a lot of us here. But anyway, we were walking out and somebody says to Robbie, what do you think of that? And he just looked at them, he says, you owes me arse. Which I thought was a great answer to, that's what it is. I mean, you just hurling and Camogie when it's played, there is not a better sport in the world. I don't care. I mean, I'd consider giving up. And by the way, I might will do this publicly. Callahan, I want 2 good seats for the hurling and the football. Because last year you gave me shite tickets. Nosebleed seats. And look at the size of me. I'm not climbing up that high. Lower Hogan, please.
Buy a few tickets to the Lara Croft.
That's not a problem. Never is. Back again, what would you like to see, or where do you see the game going in Knockbride? Have Knockbride a novice team now?
Oh.
Or there's talk and some play with Dungoon maybe.
Yeah,
so it's more football, yeah, but you probably need to get to yourself of having 10 or 12 teams in the county. Now, that has to happen, but where do you see this whole thing about the amalgamation of all 3, ladies football, Camogie, and the men's thing? Mary McAleese is heading up a committee where they want to try and bring everything in under the one roof, and of course he's looking for help money off you. He wants the whole lot of to give him help money to help to build this job. But anyway, that's man looks for money. And then you see you go Rutten down, and then Rutten looks for more. I don't know. But no, do you think that's the way forward? Personally, I think it is, that everyone has to be on the one page. We're all neighbours, children, we're sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, brothers. Pardon?
Everybody be looked after better.
As long as it's not me that Mary wanted more than me, I don't really know hopefully here, no?
No, she's not here.
No, she did it when she say weird things to me. Look, do you see, like when you were at your game, how hard were you, like training wise? I know again, it's not much more difficult then. Now everyone is driving, and you nearly, you pull up to some fields last night. I drove by the pitch last night, got Letra in Leitrim, and I said, geez, there must have 100 players, but you look at it, was just, everybody has a car, and everybody driving from wherever they were driving.
Sometimes we had to walk, or Brady Smith and Carmen there, we used to get with them, and then we got our own car, and then we just share this. So we trained 2 nights with Lara and 2 nights with the county. And
then we started to do sleepovers about Tony Duff. At Canningstown.
No, I haven't done that.
That whole commitment, that's the one thing that remains in the game. That commitment is there. and that will never change. I suppose that's the bottom line.
No, that was it. Community came first and everything else came next.
You know what? Give the full round of applause. Thanks for sharing. A very short break. We've only 3 more men, and we're going to rattle through the 3 more men. We have 3 more captains to go here. Are we ready to rock, Brian, or do we have to stop? We're taking that time out. Mary, I'd like you very much to enjoy your 12-week summer. I hope you enjoy it. And so another year or 2 in the lump sum. And don't let them
meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies dry the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where. Don't know where. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long.
You're getting it. Okay, folks, we're ready to go on the last round. First up is Pat Sheanon. You all know Pat. Pat was the captain of the '94 Wigan intermediate team. I obviously wouldn't have been around at that stage, Pat. You were captain, as far as
I suppose it was 24, Paddy. So I wasn't maybe that young either, but
I found it quite one team, because there was still quite a few of the in-14 left.
yeah, I suppose I was kind of an in-between group of players. I suppose first of all, I'd like to just acknowledge the aristocracy that's here with us tonight. I was sort of 10, 12, 14 when the guys were winning, and I don't think we can underestimate or underplay or overplay even the success the lads had. It was phenomenal. And as a 10 or 12-year-old in the old stand in Bethany Park, watching, year after year winning championship was phenomenal. So, and for me, I suppose, and I know Tomas would have been there with me as well, and we were at an age where, as an early teenager, it was phenomenal what you were looking up to. So, yeah, the team then had probably dwindled. I was maybe lucky enough to have been part of the 1988 team. We were beaten probably comprehensively by Ghana maybe on the day. But I was lucky enough to maybe have played the first half of that as a very young sort of start out. And the team moved on then. It was 94 we had obviously gone down the intermediate. There were 5 guys on the team that day that had a bag of cedar medals, Adge and PJ Ducker, Lord Mercian were midfield that day. Dennis was playing cornerback, John was playing, and Finnan was playing centre back actually that day. Tyrus had given up the jersey. At that point, was a flight keeper before he was a flight keeper. I think Finnan might have won his first minor championship at Lannilar before he was 15, and he was off when I was started at 45. So King, you started that stuff. That is the truth. I said, remember, I don't know what to do.
That is the truth.
Yeah. He could play anywhere. So, those guys were there, and maybe, the final wasn't the best final. We beat Cornafin. I had probably a stinker of a game myself that day. I was playing fullback, which I've had very few stinkers in that position over the years with various teams. But, those guys and Johnny was a man in the match, and I'd say it was a fair competition. Maybe I don't know how Adge is there. Probably had a better shout maybe even on the day for man in the match. But those guys carried us maybe on the day when they got as far as the final. But it's always nice to win when you get to a final.
John Brady's number one go-to trick was when he put the hands over his head, he gave you a dent of his chest, he put it on your mouth and nose. Just little. I actually was the same age as Matt, and Matt actually was a very good footballer. Now, you went on to play, you won an Ulster championship in 1997, you were a half-back on that team, and honest answer to a tough question. You all must have nightmares, because we really left another one behind us, I do believe.
Yeah, we did, and I suppose Kerry had a handy win against, I'd say, a very average Mayo team that probably went to great shape. We did, and where did it all go wrong, or, what happened? I always say, subsequently, Tyrone and Donegal had to go twice to win. The team just didn't stay together. And the structures didn't stay together. There's no doubt we were overawed by the occasion in Croke Park on the day. We managed it as best we could, but looking back, I'd say the intervening period was where the game was lost. I think we were all a little bit overawed, and the build-up and the support and all that was phenomenal, and probably wasn't managed maybe we thought we managed it, but mentally on the day. That little extra bits and pieces that you need to get over the line, we didn't have them. And I think, 3 other teams that hadn't won previously kind of got back. They needed to go back. They all were beaten first year out.
One of your teammates, I assume it was one of your teammates, I was managing a team down here, and one of my players, the strongest player I ever coached, physically the strongest player I ever coached, and you didn't play with him. But we were playing, and he was coming back from injury, and I says to Adrian Lamb, I says to Lamo, I want to give you a half, where will I play you? He says, play me wherever that Eugene Brady is not playing. He says, you might as well run in, the words exactly, you might as well run into a fucking potato digger. He just said he never, and Ram played him a lot of tough spots, he says, I just can't run by that man, he says, he just hurts me every time he runs into me. And he wasn't an easy man to hurt, anyway, I thought it was a very compliment, and he was saying that he was, you're welcome, Kelvin, you're late, but you're welcome. Kelvin just got here.
Well, Eugene was a very, very, very strong player, and he was probably a year ahead of me at any age level. He was all bone, and he was a tough man. There was a few fellas now, Paddy, when I started out, and Paris mentioned that I just drove into the ground like a pin. I had a few of those run-ins as well over the years, but yeah, they were very tough guys, and Eugene had a great sort of solid stance in central gravity, and he wasn't usually knocked off the ball. Tough man.
So really meant before Packing, what it was the new and the old.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a mix of the new and the old. As I said, there was the 5 older guys, maybe from the previous generation of players, and then
The youngest of the old guys.
yeah, probably. Yeah, and then you had like Paul is there, Paul Brady, Gary Smith scored a pile of scores that Thomas Rodden was playing at, I think, in the final, and there was Adrian Oates was cornerback, and there was a group of new guys coming through who went on to do their own thing then after. So yeah, it was an in-between time, and I was of an age probably in between guys that were 18 and 19 and other guys that were maybe 25 plus.
Yes, they don't count the back. Today when you look at it, I don't know if you have an active role in coaching or anything like that, the numbers are here, but again, I'm sure you're more than aware that it's not about the coaching, it's about the standard of coaching.
Yeah, it is, and look, I don't get involved in coaching, and I'm certainly not critical, because it is not simple, and I know we saw a massive number of people here tonight, and even more importantly, a huge number of young people, and that's very exciting for the club, and the club is in a great place. But it does take a lot, and it's you mentioned the training versus the practice and all of that, and the good thing as well is parents are involved and supportive now. When I started playing, and I think I gave Paddy, my first game was in Sherbrooke, and I played goals, and there was 9 or under 12, and Paul McPhillips, I don't know if you know Paul, Paul was a big block of a man that day at an under 12 match, and I think I had 9 goals on the day, so it wasn't a good start. But coaching went down at that stage in Bernard, to be fair. Bernard did a lot for us along the 12 and 14, and often brought us all in the car, and then Dermot would have trained us at under 16 and minor, and Desiree, Lord Immersion, had great touring about here in the winter time, and I always loved that, because it was all very, very scientific at the time, and we had 8-person teams, and they were all ranked, and if somebody was missing, you could only play if you were below, and it was all very, very sophisticated, and I always loved that, and I was always hopeful that there would be people missing, because I've got several games, because they're short games. Yeah. And the other thing, I'm just talking about this, at that stage, you look like you were in the minor and senior games or finals on the one day. At that stage, the league matches were always one after the other. There was a junior match and a senior match. And I remember, when you always played the junior match, and you were doing your best, because if you did well on the junior game, you got playing the senior game. So, things have changed quite a bit, but I remember loads of times being out there, and you burst to go up in the junior match, because you could play with these guys. At that stage, I was 16, 17, 18, and you got to play with fellas who had bags of senior championship medals, and that mattered a lot to me. And I don't remember the trainings, but I remember the games absolutely. And so things have changed. But go back to your question. The whole thing is huge. There are a lot of people involved. It's quite sophisticated, and it takes a lot of effort by the club and the juvenile committee, and I'll not be critical of anybody, people who give their time and get behind teams and take teams out, absolutely credit to everyone.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I actually remember playing my first senior game on the 40 and I was 15 and Andy Sheanon was on the square and he was 30. He was double my age. And that's how I always know his age. And I remember two lads from the particular club we were playing against came to do me near the end. Because at the time, believe it or not, it doesn't look like I could shift a bit. And one lad broke the other lad's leg trying to do me, I got out of the way. And I ended up playing with both of them lads in New York after. But one quick football story that I think you should all enjoy was, some of the older people will remember a man that only died a couple of years ago, Andy McCabe. He played for Christchell, he played for Ulster, he played for Cavan obviously. But Andy McCabe came on the Ulster team and the Cavan team kind of very young. We came in all together. The Railway Cup was a wonderful competition. Unfortunately, the way backdoors happen now, I'm not sure that there's any room the way we played, I don't know. We're running out of fixtures because nobody wants to play in a knockout competition. And he played in the Railway Cup final and he was playing a cornerback and the other two, BJ, some of the boys will tell you, the two other full-backs were down men. But it was a Dublin fella, possibly Heffernan, I don't know, said to Andy before the ball was thrown in, did you come up on the train for the game in front of you? Up on the train? Andy said nothing, but 10 minutes into the game, high ball into the square, bang. And Andy just stepped right across him, the train hit you. Winning captain of the junior team, Paddy Sheanon, junior footballer of the same year. Your father has 200 acres of land and you're building a house in fucking Cavan Town. By Jesus, you are under the tongue. Paddy wasn't also known as Campbell's pet. You still are. So you wouldn't be a girl's man. You bleed all the blood down the overload, man. I was at a game a few years ago when I was lad playing against Belgium when I was young for Belgium, but people couldn't understand what that was about, but anyway, that's it. You have good memories of that team, you were in your prime as a player, you had a good young team, and of course I was just listening to Owen last night and talking to him, Paul discussed how the Steamer Kenny was brought into the Steam as well. He was a good man manager.
He was, and he's good quite often against it.
Yeah, he was a good man manager. He'd know maybe the fella failed an exam, or maybe the fella was in trouble work-wise, or those little things that we could sort a lot of that stuff out, would sort it out.
It has been on the way to be happy all the time, seeing us with that, and hopefully they're
Two good lads together, yeah, stayed together for quite a while in fairness to doing it, yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah. You spent them naked in the final?
Yeah, that's it, they're all shots of them.
Yeah,
they're all nice ones that were after.
Well, I actually met 4 or 5 of them the previous week, or maybe 10 days beforehand. I was doing, the lorry came back to Mulholland in the senior championship, and I says, these boys should not be here. I remember just thinking that to myself, them boys should not be watching this, them boys should be getting their heads right. But that's football, that happens every team. You had some great players in that team that went on to win, a lot of you went on to win the intermediate.
Yeah, probably was the start of getting money students that it was, and then you had a lot of, say, we were losing to Europe, and then the guys afterwards were playing a lot of Division 1 football, and then after, so it was good.
You've lost the minor championship Division 1 in a replay, am I correct? Against Rama. That was your team, yeah. I always remember the equalising free. The day equalised. I do. I don't know. I don't make the game against me. But back to you, Paddy. Probably 10 lads, was there 9 or 10 lads that were on to the intermediate?
Let's say so, yeah.
That's a great pull through. Paul mentioned last night, or somebody mentioned it last night, maybe if you had won the intermediate a year or two earlier, you might have maybe gave the senior a better rattle with that bunch because there's a lot of talent there.
Yeah, I think we probably should have won 2017. That referee decision against us up in Killing came on to we won that, we won for that. And then we were good panel then.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys kind of drifted off after we won to we were at the top, getting off the own thing there. But last year we put out the shift, so we had a bit more fun, we didn't know it.
Yeah, as Talia said, you do need, when you get to that next level, you do need, it's a 25-man game now really, because because you need cover front, back, middle, and then you need the couple of energizer bunnies that go up and down. I don't know if I'd like to play football today, because if I was a full forward and someone told me to track back 100 yards, I'd say, no, I don't think so. But I really don't think, and I don't think it's your game either. No, just leave it all. A lot of good nights, a lot of good celebrations.
Everyone's been socialised as well. A lot of them can be fair.
And then you have the referees assessor on your team playing centre back, Colin. Yeah, he was a referee assessor all the time. He was good forward then, but he was a live referee assessor. I used to go to when Paul was in China, I'd go in and so he was walking there and he was asking me, I'd go in and say, Colin, I want you to do something this week. What? Referee, that was harsh. Can you say, geez, ref, that was harsh. Don't call them a blind bollocks. And he agreed with me. And then but yeah, I always thought a great bit of stuff. And he played the day that he got injured, actually playing against Kildare for Cavan above. We were playing him in a challenge game, if you remember, in Connaughey. And I says and he was going well, and I says to Val, what do you think of this man? He's agricultural, but I like him. So yeah, the DNA again was there too. But back to that whole thing, you, as I say, played Division 2, and then you had the batch kind of coming on the back of that behind us.
Yeah. These are always the Division 1 matches. Afterwards, 25 or 6 years, the whole teams play out of Division 2 or Division 1. I can't even finals on the head.
And tell me this, are you doing much work for cash in the house? Isn't it?
No.
I'd say if I went to rub for a bit of cash, I'd say get. Thank you very much, Paddy Sheanon. The next fella's girlfriend is after landing about 5 or 7 minutes ago. Don't know if you know her. I know from she's a child, as does Rosita. But a few months ago, as you know, there was a Rugby World Cup. And there was a pub over in the townland of Kilmore. It's very close to a place called Paddy Sheanon. And they got a new television. And they traded that television to a pub on the very edge of Lara, a real pub, and it's not the Cross and it's not Lara House. So, Nobby's got a bigger television than the World Cup. McKenna thought he was going to play a new television, but he got a trade in from Rugby's. That's actually not true, but it's a lovely story. For a long time in this budding relationship, Clearline Firm didn't know where the Rock was getting his information until he saw himself and the Rock talking one day and he just pointed. So our secret was out in the second Martin bench, so he didn't know how there was certain story, but you're the captain of intermediate, you follow the course of your uncle and lots of relations, 2 uncles, I don't know how many others, but a great day for this.
Oh yeah, it was very good. Yeah,
Jack was your man of the match, I think.
Yeah, I think he scored 1, 2 or 3 that day. It was playing.
It actually was a blitz that day.
Yeah, I think the final was probably our semi-final. Collins, they had beat us the year before in a tight game, so that was the final I think for us. Pretoria had the handy side, Collins, Ballinya, us was all the one side, and then the other side was a lot weaker. So I think that Collins were lucky enough that we got a goal. Jack got a goal with a few minutes ago. We won by a point or 2. So I think that was more the final than the tournament.
And what is the reason, I see you have no watch on you, and it's very obvious from there if you keep in Nobbies that you have no watch on when you're down there, and that there's no clock down there too. You know there are licenses and laws in the country, I'm not sure, can it not be found by sat-nav, or what was the story down there?
No, sir, it's quiet. Don't area, right?
Don't area, even on a Thursday night?
Yeah,
Every night, very good. You had a great team, you were part of a great team, you worked hard that year, he is really did, like, that was a very dominant semi-final and final, like, I remember them obviously, so it was a very dominant performance. I kind of expected, I know he's got a really tough draw, I think, the following year in the championship. He's got tough games, no? Was it about 2 years later when he was there?
The following day was COVID, and COVID didn't suit us now. To a championship and want the best of better for it. So I feel because of no relegation.
COVID didn't suit us. That's like the question, the question didn't suit you. Right, so does that mean there was a little bit of parties, a little gathering and stuff like that?
It was all go home before 8 o'clock and we're just out very early.
You've took a major hit this year between emigration and the odd retirement.
Yeah. Like, we're probably lucky other years we never had too many men going away. Like this year it hit us hard. 6 fellas or 7 fellas away at one time, but that's the way it goes. Then you have to, other fellas have to stand up kind of to break the goal after they've got legs kind of, so they'll be back and you play on their back. And that's life kind of, and it's more than life than football as well, so.
Have you looked into doing any courses in Ballyhays in the pig farming business, or how is that working?
I'm happy enough for that.
How are you, Calder? Obviously, you have a few years left, and last year you played in Lavi a couple of times, and played quite well. I felt that one of them games probably should have got over the line the first day.
Yeah, the first day we probably should have. We did a great start against Ramo, and we went I think 7 points up the first half, and they managed just to claw back. There wasn't breathing, and then we played the replay in Lavi, and they were well set up, and they were ready for it they weren't ready for it as much the first day, I think. And it was close enough I think that day in Lavi, but they just were ready they were over there first.
Yeah, they parked the bus a little bit and then hit us on the counter.
Yeah, and they were set up for our kick-outs and everything, which is a big starting point for us, so.
Yeah, best kick-out in County Cavan, by the way.
Definitely, yeah.
He put the line in 6 months.
And always bring out shot stopping and ever.
Yeah, and I do have a 2-foot drop, 2-step drop, that's the secret. Obviously, you hang around the middle, you play very much a similar game to I think we all agree with that, is that, keep going. Have you seen much youth coming now that's ready that these lads here brought you on? Have you seen many more lads coming that, can bring, that you can bring on, that you can do? That's what we do. You only mind the jersey. The going on minding the jersey, Tyus, Q, all the captains, Ray, Lawrence, you mind the jersey, you pass it on, you mind the jersey, you pass it on.
Yeah, like there is a right now. The only thing is now, it's just try to push them on and kind of test them and train them like push them and train them, you test them. So, like that's it, all the staff's going training and you talk to them, you try to bring them on, like you push them, you get stuck into them kind of.
Yeah. I actually back again, and it's only a brief thing. O'Malley would tell me that there came some wonderful young fellows to Dalton Park, meet fellows coming in on the panel, and he says it wasn't right. He says you had the 2 lions as Harlan and myself in the backs. He says there was lads came and actually worked drop, but they just never came back. Like he says it genuinely wasn't right. He says it was just. He says it was crazy stuff. Like he says they didn't care if you were their brother or who they were. If you weren't fit for that, you weren't coming back. But the future now is bright, it's fair to say, for Lara. As I say, you have the numbers, you have now a second field, which is down to the work of the community, and everyone, digging deep, and the pocket has to go, and you have to do what you have to do. You have a young, enthusiastic Paddy Father Martin. He is now an entrenched Lara supporter. I don't know how that will go down up the road, but he said that the Rory wouldn't play him, and he's a Rory native, so... It's actually an interesting thing, and most people don't realise it. lads, I just like to thank you very much because, you know, you hear the shows when it maybe going, this is not about, it's about light-hearted and it's about all that, but it's really tonight is about all of the people all over the world, all of the people that you've lost, and that's the way it's always going to be because one's born, one dies, that's the circle of life, and all of the memories. And at the end of the day, like the one thing I will say is, I'm clear that Angela, a few dances would have heard me say this before. 10 days or so after the 82 final or less, I walked in to Gaelic Park with a pair of boots under my arm. I didn't know where I was going. I thought I would actually go to this fabulous stadium. Oh, it was a shithole. I mean, no glass up the middle of the field. Some of you would remember it. Poor Martin Mary, no rest him. Stephen Giles was out one day and he says to Martin, Martin, I cannot take a field. I'm not going to play the rest of the field. The people you can play football. But anyway, I walked into Gaelic Park. Uncle Terry Sheanon he was a sub of 47. Terry was in the pub young. He dropped me at Gaelic Park. I grew in and I just first two men I met, Thomas Dillon and Pat Faulkner, who rode for the summer. So we go in, we talk out, we go out and play wherever we played. There was a junior quarter-final, and the great thing was, pure luck, if you played at that time a junior game, the following year you could become an up and down player, so you could play junior and senior. If you played a senior game first, you could only play senior. But there was this up and down thing, which was basically you could play junior and senior, so if you could five players to play up and down, it meant you got twice the football. But anyway, that night I had a job, I had a place to stay, and I had two fellas that I knew, and then lads that you know, lads like Anthony Regan, Vincey Dimney, Philip Short, and all these guys, all Cadden, and are you sorted, are you good to go, are you for money, all of those things. So what I say is, it doesn't matter if you're the worst footballer, the best footballer, a junior B, but if you go to these places, and I see it happen with Patrick Minor down in the Asian world, I see it happen in Sydney, Perth, Brisbane, all of these places, I see it happen still in America. He hooked up with Fulham now, he's only home now. I thought he'd come home a bit quicker, but he's here. But that's what our game is really about. That's the real stuff. The real stuff when a tragedy hits the community and how the community rally round the people that are suffering. That's the GAA. It doesn't matter whether it's parking cars, whether it's putting up lights, whether it's organising stuff, whether you go into a place as a young, raw immigrant and you know nobody and you're really ill and you have no nothing and not a pile of money, right away you were taken in under the wing and you were safe. You didn't say I'm a good dart thrower, I'm a good this or I'm a good that. You were back to what it's that deep down in us. Sometimes it simmers, but it's there in every one of us. So look at folks, I think it's only right that the man who has a professional chopper in DT1 and he's your current chairperson, I think we should wrap it up. But I'd like to thank each and every one of us, and again a big trade leader for you, and say hello to all of the Laura diaspora around the world and to all of you that have made this a success. And I think it will be only fair to give Sally Dawson a round of applause.
We just want to wrap it up. I'd just like to thank all the captains, the ladies and everything that took part in the show tonight. Brilliant. And we do all put our hands together for Paddy Sheanon.